Hi, I'm Johnny Seago, and today I want to talk a little bit about annotating the books that you're reading. So, all of us are very familiar with annotating a book. Mortimer Adler has taught us that in order to read a book and make it our own, we must annotate. We must underline, highlight, write notes in the margin, whatever works for us to eat that book one chapter at a time. I'd really love to hear how you do that. So I'd really love feedback after you watch this short video. Tell me, how do you do it? How do you annotate a book in a way such that you will remember the important parts of the book and keep it and eat it and make it your very own forever? A book I've read many times and is well annotated in several versions I have around this library is the Aeneid. And this version happens to be annotated in probably your very favorite way. I have sticky notes, and each little sticky note marks one of my favorite passages, and on the line inside the sticky note I've written why it's so important. And so I'm sure you use something very similar to that for a lot of the fiction that you read. A quote you want to remember, a character that you may be wanting to talk about or compared to another character. So I've been using sticky notes and highlighters for a really long time. I'd really love to hear how you do that. Two things I've just started doing lately, though. As I was reading this book, Live, Love, and Lead, the story of Brian Houston and how he started Hillsong Church, I was reading it and quoting it and just really loving this book. And as you can see, I wrote lots of notes in the margins and underlined lots of different places. And my always favorite, I've always used a star to mean this is the most important thing or one of the very great themes of the book. I always use an asterisk to say this is something I've read somewhere else and I'd like to discuss this person's point of view about that topic with another person's point of view. So that's an asterisk to me. A question mark is just something that I'm not really sure is true or I have a lot of questions about. So those are just my three symbols I've used for years, and I always use them in the very same way. But as I was reading this book, I was also reading several other books that I really enjoyed and was trying to quote and talk about at the same time. So I kind of got in trouble because I couldn't always remember, was that from this book or that book? So several months ago, I started using these index cards, and I just keep this little ring of index cards with me in my bag wherever I go, and I put it with the books that I'm reading at the time. And what I just do is write at the top the name of the book and then something that I heard or read in the book that day, and you can see I make little shorthand notes and things like that. On the back there may be questions about that particular quote in that book, but this really kept me straight because, like you can see in this little stack here, I was reading a book called Daring Greatly, Rising Strong, Amazing Grace, the story of William Wilberforce, Evangelical Theology, something called Divine Intervention. And I didn't want to misquote those, so I started using these little index cards, and it has really helped me a lot. The other thing that I've just started using, and I'll keep you posted on how effective this is an Evernote Moleskine. Now, many of you probably use Evernote on your computer or on your phone to take notes in if you're working on a specific project like a house project or another school project with your children or something like that. And Evernote is so great about putting things in different notebooks and categories to try to keep your life organized, because many of us have lots of different things going on in our life. You may or may not know that Evernote has teamed up with Moleskine so that you can take notes in your Moleskine, and whenever you order the Evernote Moleskine, it comes with these little icon stickers. You can put the icon stickers here with your Moleskine notes, and then from the Evernote app on your phone, you take a picture of your notes with the icon, and this icon puts it exactly in the notebook that you have set up to represent that aspect. So let's say that I'm reading Evangelical Theology and I want to put that into my blog or my advanced reading or my Witherspoon project. Maybe I'm reading another fiction book and I want to quote something and put it in casual reading. I just use a different icon. Let me know how you're doing with your annotating.